Peace and love, peace and love. Y'all already know what it is. Brother out there, building. I get it with another one for you. I'd like to say what's up to all the conscious brothers and sisters in the conscious community. Ones keeping the struggle. Because you know it's the struggle that you grow. Also, I like to say that it is a slow process. Progress is at the race of time. Never to the swift is always to those that ain't do. You gotta be in this thing for the long haul. Y'all already know that I don't offer people not a legal counsel, not an attorney or any of those titles. I mean, brother, sharing with you education, information about my walks, travels throughout my journey called life, like to extend these honors to you. It's when you're honoring man and woman, you're honoring yourself. Let's give adorations to the Most High. And I like to say that that's the hidden temple of my life, and extend that same love, courtesy, and acknowledgement. That's just the process. Peace to you, beloved brothers and sisters, and grand rising to all the woke ones in this damn time. Because you gotta be woke. You're still running around and you're not tuned in to the times and what's going on. Sad thing for you. Feel bad for all those people who just can't seem to figure out what's going on or wrap their mind towards something that will bring about better things to their lives. There's a lot of wars going on out there in the world. And you have to be aware that the wars that we're fighting, they're not physical. They're just invisible. You're fighting invisible war. See, the last war will be the war for the soul. A lot of people don't get that they're not warned, for things. They're warned for controlling your soul, controlling your whole being, having you bound under some kind of spell. And through that spell, you're able to be controlled, conquered, dominated, told what to do, made to pay things and do things throughout your life, even if you didn't want to do those things. It's one of the highest forms of servitude. But y'all know Brother Isaiah I got the banking. I pushed it back. I wanted to give people opportunity to get a chance to, participate, because I know some people may find out about what we got going on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be going into how to properly construct, set up that what we call paying agent. We all got one, and if you ain't got one, you need to go get you one. If you want to know how to do that the proper way, then you know where you need to be. Then you already know. Tap in with your brother, because I got you. To show you some things. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go over a couple of things right now. I'm gonna share a couple of little things. All right. So I don't like that. I don't know what's going on. They're just playing music and everything. All right, well, check it out. So we're gonna be Well, I'm gonna talk about this security account, right? Because we all have a security account. You got a social security card and you're a security account holder. Whether you know that or not, that's something you must learn as you grow. All right, so a security account means an account to which a financial asset is or it may be credited in accordance with the agreement under which the person maintaining the account undertakes to treat person for whom the account is maintained as entitled to exercise the rights that comprise the financial asset. See, understanding the concept of the security account for a secured person whose identity is secured under the account information in order for that person to receive any benefits that he's entitled to. Now, usually the security account is held with a third party, but the account is usually delivered by the actual holder of the account to the third party to hold in trust. Now, trust is when somebody else is holding somebody else's property. This is yours, but I'm holding it for you. So that creates what's called trust. So when we say held in trust, it's not necessarily saying that there's an express trust agreement specifically saying this is a trust, but all agreements express trust, just like all agreements create a security interest, whether you understand that or not. It's just things you have to learn as you grow. Now it says, except as otherwise provided in D&E, a person acquires a security entitlement if a security intermediary, right, indicates by a book entry that a financial asset has been credited to a person's security account. So, so whenever you can call an institution and they can pull up your account through your social security. I'm gonna read this again because I want you to understand what I'm reading to you right now. It says that a security account means an account to which a financial asset is or it may be credited in accordance with the agreement under which the person maintaining the account undertakes to treat the person for whom the account is maintained as entitled to exercise the rights that comprise the financial asset. Now, when it says comprise the financial asset, meaning allowing you the rights to use the asset for whatever purpose it was purchased for, right? So usually the one holding the account allow the one that who the account is being maintained for to actually comprise the financial asset. And now it says, except as provided in section D and E, a person acquires a security entitlement if the security intermediary. So if you got an entitlement, it says these are the ways that you would know if you had an entitlement. It says, number one, an indication by a book entry that a financial asset has been credited to a person's security account. Now, by a book entry, that a financial asset has been credited to a person's security account, receives a financial asset, right? This is B. Oh, give me a minute. I kind of jumping around. All right, so let's get back up. All right, now number two, it says receives a financial asset from a person or acquires a financial asset for a person, and in either case accepts it for credit to the person's security account. All right. All right. All right. What about it? All right. Let me see. So now these security accounts are what they call primary accounts that are utilized in everyday transactions. In order to purchase or hold an account, you have to hold a security, or all accounts are superseded by securities. Like when you open up a bank account, usually you sign something, and that document that you sign is usually part of the opening process. Same thing with a loan. Usually when you receive one, you sign something, and that document that you sign, right, is what is known as a security. And usually, in order for you to sign such a document, such as like a loan, maybe a lease or a license, I can say that all these documents do have one thing in common. If you really pay close attention to the documents, all these documents have common essentials. And those things that are common amongst them are what is known as your name, your date of birth, your residence, and usually your social security number. Most documents that you sign usually acquire that information. When you purchase a lease, usually that information is usually acquired somewhere through that process. Same thing with each and every loan or each and every bank account that's open. Now, you got to ask yourself, why is that important? That certain essential information, or what we would call vital information, is collected. Now, we understand that we have a legal name, but we also understand that we have a lawful name, because we know that everything that's legal is not lawful. And if you're not understanding that right now, you need to really put your mindset on the right track, to where you got to understand that there's a difference in lawful and legal. And this is very important, that you know the difference between what's lawful and what's illegal, because legal is not lawful. Legal, a lot of times, is allowing you to do something that will be considered unlawful. So without it being legal, you wouldn't be able to do it. That's why you got to get a license, to drive. When you think about that, you don't really think about it in that way, that you're breaking the law. But that's exactly what you're doing, because driving is against the law, unless you have a license. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, but that's real. And it's crazy, because the way you're taught, or the way we were taught that breaking the law is better. It's better for us to break the law, be fined and penalized, than to actually live within the confines of the law. I know that sounds absurd, but it is what it is. And when you start really looking at a lot of this stuff for what it is, like it really starts to hit you like that. Like how I can see how Neo was in the Matrix when he started to come into realizing, like when he really started, accepting things for what they were, he started to like seeing what Morpheus and Trinity and all of them was trying to get him to see. It started to come to the forefront. So it's just like you and a couple of friends trying to put somebody else up on this information, and they're not quite seeing it at that time. It's just like Morpheus, and it's almost like the one. He wasn't ready yet. He wasn't ready to be. He had to go through different programming, and even to even go in the Matrix and learn how. Because when he first started going in the Matrix, he was bumping into people and stuff. He didn't know how to flow. He had to learn the flow, and that's what this is right here. You got to learn commerce. You got to learn commercial law. You got to learn how to navigate the water. Once you understand that the waters have covered the land, and you understand that there's lawful and legal, and you understand the difference in public and private, you start moving in reference to what you know is correct based off what you learn. The thing is to be active with the information, like to actually use it and apply it toward everything that you do, because it's easy to go to what you accustomed to. Even though you're learning this, it's still easier for you to fall back into it. So it's hard standing on, especially when you by yourself and you ain't got other people that's like standing with you. It's like almost like it's all you, and got these giant corporations and little old me, you know what I mean? So, hey, but listen, if anything's possible, it's because you can conceive of it. Believe that. Now, let's keep going with this. Now, C says, if a condition of subsection B has been met, a person has a security entitlement, even though the security intermediary does not itself hold the financial asset. If the security intermediary holds the financial asset for another person, and that financial asset is rested in the name of or payable to the order of or specially endorsed to the other person, and has not been endorsed to the security intermediary or in blank, the other person, I wonder who that person would be, is treated as holding the financial asset directly rather than having a security entitlement with respect to that financial asset. So it's basically saying, now when we say security intermediary, let me matter of fact look up this hyperlink real quick for you. A security intermediary, in accordance to what, let me find the definition real quick. All right, so security intermediary means a clearing corporation or a person, including a bank or broker, that in the ordinary course of its business maintains security accounts for others and is acting in that capacity. So I'm gonna read it again, because I want you to understand, like when you're reading this, the law is very specific. Now, you can call it a bank account, but if you really want to know what it is, security intermediary, right? Now, remember when I said in the process of opening up an account, you give certain information, name, social, address, date of birth, things like that, right? And that's usually a primary requirement in most application processes. Now, you would wonder why. Because if you would take out your social security card, right, you would notice that it's also a card, it's like a card to an account. Okay. All credit cards have account numbers and names on them. So your social security account is also a credit card. It's a different type of card. It's not like the regular credit cards that you get from merchants that extend credit card agreements or credit card devices, right? Because a credit card agreement and a credit card device is two different things, even though they function in similar capacity. Okay. Now, when you go and you get a credit card from a lender, right, you're receiving some kind of agreement where the lender is providing you with a means to have credit with him. But in order to hold credit with the lender, he needs a security account in order to give you an asset, because the lenders, they lend assets for purchase, and the asset is a thing of value. It's a thing that will create value. Okay, so this what the lender. So when you get services, you're receiving an asset. When you get loans, you're receiving an asset. You're receiving a thing of value, or a thing that will create value or generate an interest in value to be made applicable over a period of time. Usually these operates on a year-to-year basis on an APR, annual percentage rate. All right. So it's a lot of little things, right? But a security intermediary is a clearing corporation. So a clearing corporation is an entity that clears items, right? They receive items and they clear the items, right? And banks do the same thing. Like when the bank receives items, when it receives checks, money orders, it usually accepts those deposits and then clears the items, such as like a clearing corporation, right? So understand that. Now it says, we'll go to this next section real quick. Now, what I learned about this is that it's a method to being able to see and find certain type of information. But I'm gonna read something to you, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna give you a snippet of how you can possibly All right. Now, hold up. Let me go back up. Come on, this thing. They just doing what it wanted to do. Let me go to that time. All right. So now, the proper property interest of an entitlement holder in a financial asset held by a security intermediary, right? So when we talk about property interest of an entitlement holder, all right, somebody is holding something that will give them a particular entitlement. Now, hold up for a second. I gotta get my phone. Because what they want to do sometimes, y'all gotta bear with the brother. But we've been having difficulties all day. Y'all gotta bear with us. Having technical difficulties. So if a live jump off anything, that's the reason why I can't hold certain meetings and stuff today, because we're having too many issues over here. But don't you worry. We're gonna rock with what we have. We're gonna pray that everything goes as planned. But I just want to rock with you one time and make sure y'all like, share out the live, man. Share the live out. Show the love as you walk in. Make sure you hit the like button. All right. And if you wanna learn more about what we do there, Building Better Minds, y'all can go to buildingbetterminds.info and y'all can talk to my assistant. Well, I wouldn't even call her my assistant. My co-partner and officer of the company. But I like to call her my assistant because we work like assistants. Things like that, as far as hand in hand on a lot of different things. So, but she's also a managing member. But I just wanted to let you guys know that you can always reach us at buildingbetterminds.info and any other of our partners and associates that's connected to us also, and any other entities that we socialize with as far as through our platform. But I wanted to go over this real quick because a lot of people talk about, property interests, entitlement holders. We're talking about financial assets and security intermediaries. Now, when you think of a security intermediary, most of the time you would think of something like a bank or something to that degree, but a security intermediary is not just a bank. A security intermediary is any institution that's in the business of receiving and holding securities for the benefit of consumers or other parties. So understanding that and knowing what that is very important, because it could help you in being able to interpret what something means. So let's read this. To the extent necessary for a security intermediary to satisfy all security entitlements with respects to a particular financial asset, all interests in that financial asset held by the security intermediary are held by the security intermediary for the entitlement holder and are not property of the security intermediary and are not subject to claims of creditors of the security intermediary, except as otherwise provided in 8511. So now let's go to the entitlement holder real quick. Now, what is an entitlement holder? Scroll down a little bit. Entitlement holder. Entitlement, this thing, I told this thing does what it wants to do. Man, if you don't get on up out of here making all that noise. Entitlement holder It means the person identified in the records of the security intermediary as the person having a security entitlement against the security intermediary. If a person acquires a security entitlement by virtue of 8501, B2 or 3, that person is the entitlement holder. So when you look at 8501, B2 and 3, that takes us back to what we read earlier when it was talking about if it can shows by bookkeeping entry that the assets been credited to your security account, right? Or it was 3 things that I read that will give you a security entitlement. Well, you know that it's been credited to your asset account or your security account because most companies that you call, before they even allow you to even get to that account, they ask you for your security account information. Most of us think that it's that they're asking for our identity, but they're not asking you for your identity. They're asking you to provide the card information for the account. And once you validate the card information with the institution, they pull up the T-Mobile account, the gas account, the water account. But first, you got to validate the card information. The card information is also called a trade secret because the card is also part of your identity. So when most people are using the card information, they're using their own identity. So when they're using their own identity, if they're not aware that that's also the card information, they won't know it's a credit card. So when you call any service provider and they ask for the name and the number, yeah, you could just pull out your social security card and just put it right there in front of you and just read the card. That's all you gotta really do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all that they're asking for. They're asking for validation of the card information. And once you validate that card information, right? Hey, how you doing, Mr. Bay? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I was trying to get into my account. I was trying to look at my recent charges or whatever you're trying to do, you know? I know, I've dealt with these people. I've been dealing with them for quite some time now. So you begin to learn and understand that that's a security account, okay? And once you understand that what that account does is hold securities. And once you start learning what securities are, you'll realize that in the purchase of every security, you give your account information. In order for you to purchase any security, you got to give an account information to the institution that you're trying to purchase the security from. They got to have an account to place the purchase in. I mean, but the way they got it set up is so clever that if you're not competent, you'll never know what's going on. You just be operating normal, but in the background, boy, it's all kind of stuff going on. You hear me? Yeah, buddy. But let's keep going, right? So now we got the entitlement holder. Now we know that the security intermediary is not just the bank. It can also be your service provider. Anybody that you make payments to, anybody that you have to actually come out your pocket and draw out or do a payment toward or things like that, that's holding an account for you as a service provider, they are also considered as a financial institution if they provide EFTs. You can do debit cards through them. You can write checks. This is a financial institution. This is a security intermediary. This is somebody holding the security between you and the account that you're using, right? So it's very important that you understand that when you're dealing with them, you are the entitlement holder. What does that mean? Meaning that you are the one entitled to whatever he's trying to collect. If he's trying to collect due balances, well, those due balances would have to be due to somebody. Meaning belonging already to a specific person. Somebody would have to already purchase those goods, sign for them, and purchase them and then the security intermediary received them and now is collecting them for him. And maybe this person is unaware of his ownership over the goods in which somebody else is collecting for him. And because of that, that creates, a folly. But when you read the contract, it don't say amount due to the service provider. It says amount due to, and it got your account information on it. So when you reading it, it should be evidence who the payee is. The payee is the obligor. The obligor is the one that the amounts are due to. But everybody keeps paying the wrong person. See what I'm saying? And when you start understanding how to pay the right person, then you'll make the person who owes pay what he owes. See, but if you keep paying the wrong person, then somebody keeps getting discharged. Don't make me go in now. Don't make me go in now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it cool though. I'm gonna keep it cool. I ain't gonna get hot. Cause you know if I get hot, then y'all already know what time it is. I get hot up in this. All right, but let me go on here. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit. Let's keep going. So an entitlement holder, property interest with respects to a particular financial asset under Section A is pro rata property interest. And all interest in that financial asset held by the security intermediary, without regards to the time the entitlement holder acquired the security entitlement or the time the security intermediary acquires the interest in that financial asset. An entitlement holder's property interest with respects to a particular asset under subsection A may be enforced against the security intermediary only by exercise of the entitlement holder's rights under Section 5, 805 through 805, 808. Now let's go through 5, 805, 5, 808. Now see, I'm gonna take you on a journey today. Now this is the portion of some stuff that we be going over, but when we have this upcoming webinar on the banking, I'm going to actually be taking you guys into some very powerful elements of how to set up that account correctly. So this right here, what I'm showing you now, just to hyping you up a little bit, just to let you know what you can expect when you're dealing with a brother like me. Now check this out. A security intermediary shall take action to obtain payment or distribution made by the issuer of a financial asset. It says a security intermediary satisfies duty if the security intermediary acts with respects to the duty as agreed upon by the entitlement holder and the security intermediary. So why is the entitlement holder position so powerful? Because it's about you proving to the person that's holding the property that you are the one entitled to the balances or to whatever benefits that the property is generating. All right. So because it's very important that he understand that you are the one, and usually the entitlement holder is the one who issued the asset to the security intermediary. The security intermediary usually receives the document of title, or what we call bill of lading, from the entitlement holder, from the one entitled to the amounts on that security. He usually receives it directly from you. That's why you are the one entitled, because it's your credits. It was extended to you. You applied for it and it was extended. You signed it and it became your value, your obligation, and then you transferred it to him and he agreed to perform his duty as he originally promised. Really, the credit, the payments come from the lender. Why? Because he said that it was credit. So if it was credit, you shouldn't have to pay nothing. Credit meaning that you got a prior promise already from a other person, which is the promiser. You're the promisee, remember. Also the assignee. But you forgetting your place though. That's why you got a brother like me come wake you up, right? Let you know, hey, look, these are the roles, this is what you're doing. All right, so now, we got the security intermediary, right? He shall take action to obtain payment and distribution. So when the entitlement holder issues something under his entitlement, the security intermediary is supposed to do what he's supposed to do, made by the issuer. See, it says made by the issuer, so it's saying, so usually in order for the security intermediary to act, they got to know that they acting under the authority of the issuer. So if you can't prove that you're the issuer, then you never get them to act under your authority. See, because right here it's talking about them making payment and distribution made by the issuer of the financial asset. So they got to know that it's the issuer of the asset that's making. See? And then when we go to issuer, it says with respects to an obligation on or a defense to a security, right? So the same instrument that they tell you is your debt, if you're competent, the same instrument that they tell you that says that you owe, if you're competent, is your defense. You know why? We're about to read it. All right? Don't say I didn't never. Don't say, hey, listen, I'm going to show it to you. We're going to read it together, and hopefully you understand it. All right? So either the instrument is either a debt or it's either your defense to a debt. And I'm going to explain to you why. Let's go over it. With respects to an obligation, we know what an obligation is. We know what that is. We've been paying them our whole life. On or a defense to a security. I've been explaining securities. And issuer includes a person that places or authorizes the placing of his name on a security certificate. So lease, mortgage, license, any kind of certificate, right? Includes a person that it says, let me read it again. With respects to an obligation on or a defense to a security, an issuer includes the person that places or authorizes the placing of his name on a security certificate other than an authenticating trustee, register, transfer agent, or the like to evidence a share, participation, or other interest in his property, or in an enterprise, or other evidence is duty to perform an obligation represented by the certificate, right? So I want you to understand that it's saying that if you sign your name to a security and you're not an authenticating trustee, you're not a registrar, you're not a transfer agent or anything like that, then the only reason why you sign, according to this law, is to evidence your share. So that means if your name is on the lease or your signature, that means you got a share in the lease. How much is the lease worth? That's how much shares you got in. Okay? Why? To participate, right? How do you participate? You participate by showing that you are a signed participant. It's just like signing up for the club. Man, my name on there, I signed up. Same way you treat a debt when you got a right to payment. Hey man, my name signed on the debt, I got a right to payment. It's the exact same thing. You think I'm playing, don't you? I'm not playing. It's your defense. It's your defense to them. Somebody say you, oh no, you acknowledge that you are that's your defense to the debt. That your signature represents your share. Your evidence is your rights to receive or to participate and receive a payment of that amount. I hereby acknowledge and accept this as a due balance to me. See, they're saying that it's a debt, but if you look at it right, you'll say, wait a minute, this ain't no debt. This is the amount due to me. And you look at it from a different perspective. See? I'm trying to get you to change your perspective. And you can change your life. Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, yeah, you can. If you change your perspective, you can change your life. If you change the way you think, you can change everything around you. Trust me, I know. Change is ever constant. One thing we can't change is the fact that things always change, for the better or for the worse. And most people that think that they'll never change, they change for the worse. Because they change in the worst way. They change ignorantly, without notice of change, because they don't acknowledge change. Change is ever constant. You can't change the fact that things always will change. Period. Now, we ain't say things will be new. We just said ever change. From cold, hot, good, bad, things like that. Things are ever changing. Right? So remember that. So now we got the issue. All right, so a security intermediary shall take action to obtain payment or distribution made by the issuer. So now we know who the issuer is. The issuer is the person who is not an authenticating trustee or registrar, who signed the instrument in order to participate, in order to acquire interest. So when you open up that bank account, your whole purpose in signing that instrument was to acquire interest. So now you understand, you the issuer. Now you understand why it's important for you to prove that you issue something to that institution. Because if you don't prove to them that you issue something to them, then you might not get credit for it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But if you want to learn more about what I'm talking about, come out to the webinar tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. Go to Building Better Minds. Matter of fact, I might be able to put a link there somewhere. But hey, like I said, if you want to learn, you got to come out. All right, so check it out. Now, the security intermediary acts with respect to the duties as agreed upon by the entitlement holder and the security intermediary. Or in the absence of an agreement, the security intermediary exercises due care. So that's what's going on with y'all, a lot of y'all right now. He doing this to you. Exercising due care. Now, and I ain't talking about your bank, I'm talking about security intermediary. Exercising his rights over your account with due care, in accordance with the reasonable commercial standards, to attempt to obtain payment or distribution. So he's attempting to what? To either obtain payment or either distribution. I think you should be trying to get the distribution. All right? Distribution of funds due to you, right? What is the distribution? Man, let's look this up, because I like, me, I like to be crazy. I don't like to guess what I think. The action of sharing something out among a number of recipients. Right? Let's look up the legal definition. Y'all know I'm big on the legal definition. Look up lawful, huh? Yeah, it was legal. We'll look up lawful. All right. In legal context, distribution generally refers to the act of providing or apportioning assets amongst beneficiaries or shareholders. This can involve a division of assets in a trust or will, ensuring that each beneficiary receives what they are entitled to, the payment or the profit from a corporation to its shareholders, often through dividend distribution of an asset, of an estate asset after debts and taxes are paid. All right, so we know what the distribution is. All right, and then the security intermediary is obligated to its entitlement holders for payment or distribution made by the issuer. So as long as it's the one who issued the financial asset, and usually the issuer is the depositor. The depositor is the issuer, and that's not just in opening up a bank account, but that's opening up any account. And any account you open up, you act as a depositor of information, which is also linked to an asset of a financial asset if the payment or the distribution is received by the security intermediary, right? Let's look at this word financial asset real quick. Pass it up. All right, so a financial asset, except as otherwise provided in 8103, means a security. So a security is a financial asset. So once you learn what a security is, you know it's a financial asset. An obligation of a person. It didn't say obligation of a man. Did it? It didn't say an obligation of a man. It said an obligation of a person or a share. So it's either the obligation of a person or it's either a share, participation, or other interest in a person or in property or enterprise of a person, which is of a type dealt in or traded on financial markets, or which is recognized in any area in which it is issued or dealt in as a medium for investment. So it's telling you that wherever they deal and issue these instruments in order to open up bank accounts, to get cars, whatever, these instruments are issued and dealt as investment security. Any property that is held by a security intermediary for another person in a security account. See? The only way they can hold anything for you, they need an account. So your legal identity is also an account that most people collect from you at the beginning of opening an account. They also get your identity without disclosing to you truly the agency relationship between you and your account principal. They never tell you that they never disclose to you the disclosure of your account principal. They allow you to only act as the principal itself, and without you being identified. This is how they do it, because they already know that they can't deal with a man without an account principal. In order to deal with a man, you got to have an accountant that the man is using to deal with him. To deal with this man, we need an account in his name or something that we can take to open up an account with. So, but if you're incompetent, you never understand what's going on. You always just think it's just you giving your information, never understanding your account principle. Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead. I ain't gonna go too much further in it, but I just wanted to go over a couple of things and just show you, give you an idea of kind of, what you can kind of expect, like things that we cover. This just a little something you can go back over this information at your own leisure. Take your time and read through it. It's a lot of great information, man. I don't pretty much everything I come with, I try to make sure that I give you something that you can take, use, something that's beneficial. I want something that can weigh on you. It's almost like oatmeal. It's like it's a complex uh, uh, compound carb. Complex, not simple. Meaning we're gonna give you something that's gonna sit with you for a minute, and it's gonna have to ruminate in your mind for a minute before you can digest it. All right. I appreciate you. Like I said, we do have we had one today, but we had technical difficulties going on, so it caused us to push it back. But I said, hey, it's a great opportunity to give other people an opportunity to come out to participate, so you can also be a part of this great banking webinar that I'm having tomorrow at 6 Central Time at People's Remedy at Building Better Minds. At Building Better Minds, we're having a banking webinar. We're going over the basic information on how to take full control over your financial accounting, right? If you want to learn how to take over your financial account, right, and run your account, set it up correctly so that your paying agent, just like what we've been reading on here, is obligated to you as the issuer. He has to pay and do distributions based off your instructions. And make sure you sign up. Don't miss it, because I'm going to be showing you things that I know that you'll only be able to get them if you come out. So thank you for your time. Hopefully I see a bunch of you guys there. Again, go to buildingbetterminds.info. Again, that's buildingbetterminds.info, and inquire about the new webinar that we got coming up tomorrow. Make sure you get in, because seats are limited, and cutoff time. Once time cut off and you're gonna really be being taxed. I try to be lenient with the prices, but if you don't meet our deadline, yeah, you're gonna have to pay. If you can't afford it, then you should afford it to be there, and you wouldn't be going through what you're going through. Peace and love.